allowing us to be here this afternoon, and for giving us the motivation, the strength, and the energy that I believe is going to resonate, and I hope it will also guide us in terms of connecting so that we can be able to benefit from whatever we are planning to share this afternoon. The beautiful part of teaching is every time you teach, you learn more than the people you're teaching. Every time you talk, you become a better speaker than those you're talking to. So I want to ask the Almighty to enable my tongue to say things that will touch your heart, and enable my mind to develop thoughts that will make you a better person by the time you leave here than the way you came in the morning. I was asked to talk about the importance or the significance of guidance and counseling in secondary school level. And I'm going not to present an academic, descriptive presentation, because I know all of us have gone through this course. Thank God, Kenya now, every teacher education program has a component of guidance and counseling. So I'm going to make a cocktail presentation. I'm calling it a cocktail presentation because I'm going to take what I feel you and me need to share to make this afternoon a worthwhile time to spend together. I want to believe that God will guide us in such a way that we will not regret why we're here this afternoon. You won't regret why you came here this day, and I will not regret why I left my family to come here this afternoon. So that by the time we leave the hall, all of us must have benefited from one thing or the other. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a very interesting quote that I normally am very fond of, and it says, if there is no enemy within, the enemy without can never defeat you. If there is no enemy within, the enemy without can never defeat you. And again, as I stand here, I am guided by another very interesting statement that I hold very dearly. And the statement says, if you refuse to drink from the fountain of knowledge, you will always die of thirst in the desert of ignorance. So whoever desires to have the best in this world, and of course the best in the hereafter, must always be ready, must always be open, must always be willing to experience continuous and regular growth and development. Allow me, my colleagues, to connect three important concepts that will guide our discussion this afternoon. The concepts that will form the cornerstone, the concept that will form the foundation, the pillars, the three important pillars of our discussion this afternoon. And these pillars of our discussions this afternoon is the pillar of teaching, the pillar of guiding, and the pillar of counseling. I would love if you will allow me to use 5 to 10 minutes to connect these three pillars, to show the harmony that exists among them, that we cannot afford not to put them into consideration as we deliver, as we do our work, as we exercise our mandate, as we make sure we're making the impact that we need to make, so that at the end of the day we meet what Maslow considered to be the level of significance in life. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very important as we continue talking, as we continue engaging, for you to reflect on 4 L's, because this again will give us a very easy way of internalizing whatever I am going to share with you this afternoon. And the 4 L's are the L's of life, the L of love, the L of learning, and the L of living legacy. At the end of the day, this is a very interesting rectangle that if you're able to balance it very well, you will always have that which they call waking up in the morning when you are full of inspirations and going back to bed in the evening when you are full of satisfaction. And that is all about living. At the end of the day, life has to give you what you deserve. And for you to get that which you deserve, you must do what it takes for you to enjoy that particular kind of thing. So to make it easy, the teaching, I took the first letter T. I said teaching in my understanding is tapping. Tapping. When you are teaching, you are tapping. That means you are trying to make someone becomes better. You are trying to get the best out of someone. You are tapping. You are teaching someone because you want that someone to learn something. And at the end of the day, to have an ultimate or an observable, relative, permanent change in behavior. Tapping. E in the word teaching is engaging. You are trying to create an emotional relationship with the one you are teaching. This is what, in another word, they call emotional or relational capital. That is, as you teach, you are trying to make someone else either become like you or become better than you. You are engaging. You are trying to connect. You are passing knowledge. So E in the word teaching, the way I want to use it this afternoon, is engaging. And then A is appreciating. One interesting finding in the pedagogical area of study is you can't teach someone you don't appreciate. It's very difficult to teach someone you don't appreciate. So teaching is about appreciating. It's about appreciating. And then C, just like what Aristotle said, they don't care how you teach and how much you have to teach until you show them that you care yourself about the way they're growing and developing. They don't care whether you have a PhD or a master's degree. Students, what they care about is how much are you caring for them. So teaching is about caring. It's about caring. H, teaching is about harnessing. Harnessing. That means looking at the talents, looking at the abilities, looking at the opportunities, looking at the relevance, looking at what you can do to make sure the learner benefits from what you're doing. Harnessing, getting the best out of them. If they don't understand, as they say, the way you teach them the way they understand. If they don't understand the way you teach them, then teach them the way they understand. So you have got to kind of harness their abilities. They say teaching without inspiring is like hitting on a cold iron. You can make nothing out of it. You're only able to make things out of an iron when the iron is hot. And you know what is interesting? You don't wait for the iron to become hot for you to hit. You hit it so that it becomes hot for you to use it. So I, in the word teaching, is inspired. Inspired. You have to make the learner ready to learn. And then N, teaching is about nurturing. Nurturing. Taking care of someone. A good teacher is a teacher who knows everything about you and still feels like he needs to teach you in order to make you a better person. That's a good teacher. A good teacher is someone who takes the students across the bridge, breaks the bridge so that they don't go back to where they were, but they continue moving forward, growing and developing. And then G, teaching is guiding, facilitating, guiding, showing the learners what to learn, what is good for them. My dear colleagues, take a minute and reflect on all the adjectives I have used to describe teaching. I am sure in one way or the other, you will see they are all related to the emotional intelligence. They are all related with the heart. They are all related with the inner being of an individual. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that by making it clear that there is a very strong relationship between teaching and guiding, between guiding and counseling. You cannot divorce these three fundamental elements, which makes it easier for us to learn, for us to change, for us to better ourselves, for us to become who we were created to become, for us to become the people we are able to become, for us to acquire the level of efficiency and competencies that will ultimately feel or make us feel like we have done our best. So putting that on one side, let us now look at what is guidance then, if that is what teaching is. G in the word guidance. Guidance or guiding means galvanizing. Galvanizing, improving, making something much stronger, much useful, much appreciated, much productive, galvanizing. When you are guiding, you are galvanizing. You're making someone see the best that could be done, and ultimately himself or herself becoming a better person. You, my dear colleagues, guiding is unleashing. Guiding is unleashing. Look at a child as if he is already what he wants or what you want him to become or her to become, and he or she become exactly that. Look at a child as if he is or she is already what you want them to be, and they become exactly that, unleashing. Sometimes you might not be able to see the potential that lies within you, the treasures that lies within you. You need someone else to tell you what you are capable of doing, what you can do right and what you cannot do right. You need to unleash. When you're guiding, you are unleashing, you're making someone identifies, discovers, realizes that he or she is standing on a gold mine. Making someone realizes that he can be better than what he or she is currently at the moment. So you is unleashing. I, again, we're going back to the same very rich word, inspired. Dealing with the inside and not the outside, my dear colleagues. Remember this as we continue with our discussion. The software always drives the hardware. The software always drives the hardware. It is what is inside you that will ultimately lead to what will be outside you. And that's why they say, be careful of what you think, because what you think affects how you think, affects the way you feel. Be careful of the way you feel, because the way you feel affects the way you act. Be careful of the way you act, because the way you act forms your character. Be careful of your character, because that is what is going to be your destiny. But where does it start? The thought, the inside. Therefore, inspirations are those forces that ignites your inside in order to influence positively or sometimes negatively the way you behave from outside. So when you are guiding, you are assisting someone manipulate, exploits the inside in order to create efficiency in the outside. Guidance A, guidance means advising. Advising. Telling the students what is good and what is the opposite. What is right and what is wrong. What is going to construct them and what is going to distract them. What is going to make them and what is going to break them. What is going to take them to the higher levels of human perfection and what will bring them down to the level of animals' dissatisfaction. So inspiring again. Remember, we have the same word in teaching, inspiring. And similarities, nurturing. Guiding is nurturing. You don't guide someone just for an hour or two or a day. You got to do it regularly, consistently, with patience, participation, and persistence. The three important P's of life. Perception, change of perception, change of attitude, participation, getting involved. Life is not a game of being a spectator. Life is about becoming a player, doing it yourself, participating. Making the student realizes that if it is to happen, then it is up to them. At the end of the day, when you want to develop your muscles, you got to go to the gym and push those heavyweight things. And the heavier, the better for the muscles development. So if that's what develops the body muscles, what develops the mental muscles, and what develops the emotional muscles, and what develops the spiritual muscles.